Gratcast this week, dear.
Woo! Everybody else feeling this heat? Oh my, summer has finally come.
It's finally LA weather in LA.
I miss the rain. I loved the rain. It was nice. It was new. It was unexpected.
If it happened anymore, it would have started being Buffalo weather, not LA weather.
No way. The ground was getting just enough time to actually soak it up. It didn't look like dust anymore. It actually looked like life was happening in LA. No fires maybe this summer?
Speaking of fires.
Fire!
Had our first fire of the year Saturday night.
Yes, you did.
Cooked some hobo pies. A little steak and cheese and pizza hobo pies.
Yes, he did.
You know, I can't cook them things the way I used to back in the day. They used to come out nice and tight, sealed case, golden toasted bread. Now it's all there. They're burnt. They don't stick together. It's just lava in the middle.
I bet a lot of your Buffalo people could tell you what you're doing wrong. Like, it's been a while since you've done it, and they do it every summer, like, almost every night. It's like their own tradition that there's a way to do it. Like, which spray do you use? Do you use butter? Do you use margarine? What pan? I'm guessing that's part of it, is your pan doesn't seal enough. You all know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, these are, it's also the double square ones as opposed to the round ones, which is what we always used to use as the round ones. So you'd have the crust outside of the round one, and it would seal the bread together, and it would come together, it would create a nice
kind of
pocket.
like the sandwich maker machine that has that, like, it has the indent that forces it along.
Yeah, but this one just closes it, and it's got a slice on top and a slice on top, so you got the crust all around, and it never creates like a melted together seal that makes it a nice hobo pie hot pocket.
Well, Kris.
Yeah, so
talking about food.
That was a disappointment.
We're having a little bit of a debate here, people.
There's no debate.
There's a little bit of a debate. So, hello.
The mobster.
Nice. Welcome. Yay, so we're starting on our debate. You're going to join us with this. It's a little different. Egg salad sandwiches. Egg salad that goes in the sandwiches. So like a year ago, I got into a major egg salad kick, and it's been a while, but I think it's only when it gets hot out I start to actually want...
This kick certainly didn't include this ingredient you decided to add in this time.
So I couldn't find the recipe I was using last summer, and... whatever. So I looked it up on all recipes again and found something that was a little bit different. A tiny bit different.
Key ingredient different.
Not even a key ingredient. Eggs are still the key ingredient, you crazy bastard.
Yeah, but there's a key ingredient that's added to it that screws the whole thing up. That is not an essential ingredient.
Okay, so we've tried many different ways of having this, but try and keep it basic. But a new thing that someone had seen and mentioned, and it had good reviews, was adding water chestnuts. Like, you chop them up, but it gives a little bit of texture without any, like, actual taste.
It gives a, what the fuck is this crunch texture? That's what it does.
And apparently when you tell them what it is it eggshell?
You don't want crunch in an egg anything, let alone an egg salad sandwich.
But people put celery in it. Yeah, they have the green onions in it.
Not a fan of the celery in it either.
They put potatoes in it. There are things that add texture that
that's potato salad. That's not egg salad.
No, a lot of recipes
eggs in potato
have
salad.
additional things added into it to give it more texture. So that was something that I tried.
Nobody had. I've never.
You know, I think what you didn't like is that it had so much paprika.
No,
it had a lot of paprika in it.
You're talking
like it made
paprika.
it kind of red.
I got no problems with paprika.
Kind of red.
Put
like
as much paprika in as you want.
Color.
I don't have any issue with that.
You can't taste the water chestnuts.
You can taste them when they crunch. Number one.
Tell me.
Number two, water chestnuts are gross. Number three,
they are not gross. You like them in the Chinese food?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I pick
Chinese
around
food.
them.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Oh my god, nobody likes water chestnuts. That's gross.
I like water chestnuts.
And even fewer people want crunch in their egg salad. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Not whatever, dude. I like it. I think everyone else does too. So you guys let us know. Any definite no-goes in any cold salad sandwiches? Anything that'll make you go, what the mother? Because maybe it's a regional thing too.
This isn't regional.
It might have been.
Something that comes in a shell that's crunchy, and if you screw up and you have shells in there, it's going to crunch. That substance should never be in a crunchy context because people always think they're crunchy. So you don't want
celery in yours because celery makes it crunchy.
No, I don't want celery in my egg salad. No.
What do you want in your... What is your ideal egg salad? What is it composed of?
The egg salad you made without the water chestnuts in them.
Well, apparently last year I did a whole lot better. That's what I get for stopping my kick and
That's
forgetting
what you get
how I did
for
it.
going rogue and adding mysterious ingredients.
We had
in.
water chestnuts, though. It was amazing.
thank
it was
God.
like coincidence from God.
No, what a
Yes, the cooking
just so
gods
happen to
thought
have
that was
water
a great
chestnuts.
idea.
Fantastic.
We have bamboo shoots. I didn't put those in. I could have. That would have been very interesting.
No bamboo shoots either.
Okie dokie. So yes, that was one of the adventures of this weekend. I'm trying. It's too hot to actually cook now. Like, it's officially summer, so I don't like meat. Really, I don't like the texture of meat. I love the taste of barbecue sauce, and I love the smell of barbecue
The
sauce.
pickiest eater I've ever met in my entire life randomly starts throwing water chestnuts into stuff.
Dude, it's good for you. It's a vegetable.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's something.
Moving on.
It's a nut.
You know what these temperatures, you know what they call it sometimes, dear?
June gloom.
No. Earthquake weather.
Oh, did you hear about the weird earthquake in the middle of the country?
Cleveland's not in the middle of the country, dear.
Ohio's in the Midwest.
No. Oh, here we go. Ohio is not in the Midwest. Some people might classify that, but absolutely not. It's
Having lived in Illinois and Iowa, Ohio was considered part of the Midwest. It isn't like the line once Illinois is there and it goes everyone else is just
Okay. So then what is West Virginia? Do you consider that the Midwest?
I consider that the Atlantic.
How is that?
If you touch
it's
the
right under Ohio.
Does it have a border on the ocean?
West Virginia? I think that little nub gets there.
Yep, that counts.
Oh,
That counts you. You got ocean view, you got ocean front, you are an ocean state.
Ohio is not the Midwest. And certainly not Cleveland. Cleveland rocks. The Midwest does not rock. And Cleveland rocked with an earthquake,
Wow, you just
apparently.
insulted a whole lot of states. And Emily, he insulted your state. We're going to have some words with him about that. What you think about that?
Maybe
yeah,
Emily
we are.
Maybe Emily doesn't like the rock either.
Yeah.
So,
Flyover state.
I don't know if you knew this, but there was like 4 or 5 earthquakes around here the past week and a half.
I did not know that. I did not feel that either.
There was, yeah.
How big were they?
I think they ranged from like a 2.3 to a 4.7.
Okay.
Little baby quakes.
Baby quakes, but for Cleveland, that was probably quite a bit of a
That's why
quake.
Cleveland rocks.
Yes, that is exactly why Cleveland rocks. It's on a fault line,
Let's see
apparently.
if I can get some sound effects
You're
getting
crazy.
in here.
So that was craziness that happened. And then in Texas, there was the crane that fell over on the apartment building during the high winds. And then there's that dude who's now saying that the high winds are because of traffic circles, because of the roundabouts.
The Pennsylvania
like
whistleblower.
That's making tornadoes happen.
Pennsylvania whistleblower claims that there have been too many traffic roundabouts installed in the state of Pennsylvania recently, and it's now causing tornadoes.
Which is insane, because I've never
Is
noticed
it?
tornadoes in Britain, but they have roundabouts everywhere.
Is it insane, or is it insane enough to be brilliant?
How many cars are on those that are really... Have you been in a pool when you tried to make a whirlpool by everyone going around and walking?
Oh, see, no, I never
You know how
thought that the
long
cars were
it
doing
takes
it. I thought
for the water to even get that kind of pull? But then you're saying the air. The air
I
is
wonder if
doing
that's his
it.
argument, is people are driving these roundabouts and they're creating them. I thought
That's kind of what he was saying. You didn't read you didn't read it?
I didn't read the article. It was so stupid. I just figured he assumed the wind was following around the traffic circles.
Nope. No.
He thinks the cars are causing it?
Yeah. Like your giant arms in the pool forcing it all to make its way around.
Everybody's got theories, buddy.
Absolutely crazy. And then this morning, the third crazy thing, the helicopter in Manhattan that went down in the middle of Manhattan.
Don't get me started on New York City. There are a lot of strange things afoot in New York City.
Private helicopter, supposed to be an executive helicopter, but according to quite a few people on Twitter, he was in an airspace that you aren't allowed to be there if you're, like, it's military only kind of thing. Like, huh.
Yeah.
And then the dude lands on a roof that's not even made for it. I mean, look around, dude. A lot of those roofs are made for being a helipad, but he has to pick one of the few that isn't.
Do you combine that with the New York Police Department police chiefs that have either disappeared or shot themselves in the past week? And there's a lot of strange things afoot in the Empire City.
Well, that's not good. So, these commissioners are dying
Quite
as they retire?
strange.
Or they're currently in
within a-
office and now there's precincts that are all just
Within
crazy.
a 24-hour stretch, one killed himself. I think he was on the force for 39 years. He was just below the police commissioner of New York City, and he turned in his papers the day before, and then in street clothes shot himself in a parked car the next day. And the other one,
Tell me that one
is-
was an impossible way to shoot himself, though. Like, he really didn't do it. It was from behind.
well,
kinda
there's a
thing.
lot of rabbit holes we could go down with that one. And then the other guy is, last I heard, disappeared. There was a search out. They were looking for him, trying to find what happened. He had just disappeared.
Like, you went on a vacation and didn't tell anyone?
Like he disappeared off the face of the earth and didn't tell anyone. So, and you combine that with the two senators in, I think it was Oklahoma and Arkansas, that were shot in their homes and killed this past week. And there are quite a few strange things happening these days, dear.
Very strange. Very
Quite
strange.
strange.
What do you think is causing this, Chris?
I don't know if I have enough Q words to speculate, dear, but it is quite a quandary we're quickly running out of answers for.
There we go. Neat. So, Chris, what else is going on?
Well, I guess I wrapped up our submission for the 43 North competition.
Okay. What exactly... Okay, when you say you wrapped up the submission, everything's done? It's sent in?
We didn't have a wrap party. No, we didn't.
But, I mean,
But
it's off?
It's off.
Submitted?
Paid
You
our
applied?
submission. Paid our submission fee. Submitted it out. Got my confirmation email. We are in like Flynn.
So let's explain to everyone
Sure.
what exactly 43 North is.
All right. 43 North is a startup incubator that runs the largest startup competition. It's either in the country or in the world. I'm pretty sure it's in the world every year.
Okay.
And each year they give away a grand prize winner of $1 million investment in the startup, and either 7 or 8 runner-up winners get a $500,000 investment into their company. So every year they put $5 million into startups, and the only eligibility, it has to be tech related, has to be it can't be like real estate or an investment company that invests in other investments.
No hedge funds.
No, it's got to be like a traditional startup, and the startup has to move to Buffalo if they're picked as one of the winners for the funding.
So it's a company that's already began. It can't be like an idea of a company.
No, it can be an idea. It can be an unformed company. But by the time you get your award, you'd have to file and have your either an LLC or a C corporation legal entity in place. But
So if you're currently a company in Buffalo,
no. But if you're currently a
Okay.
company in Buffalo starting a new company that would be a subsidiary, or whatever that company, then you would again be eligible for it as well.
okay.
It just has to be a new entity in
So
the
it
Western
isn't
New York
just
area.
people from outside the Western New York area that they're appealing to try and get them to come there.
That's the primary goal, is to bring new startups and rising companies that are in position to grow quickly into the Western New York region, create more jobs, create more innovation. It's just good for the city in general to have a good startup and incubator culture going on in the community.
Do you know how many years they've been doing this?
This is either the 3rd or 4th year. It's only been a few years. So maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there was a big push for what was called the Buffalo Billions, or the Buffalo Billion.
Okay.
And the state of New York invested $1 billion in the Buffalo infrastructure, and that was divvied up into some different ways and helped spark a lot of the revitalization that's going on in Western New York. And a big chunk of that money went into this organization called 43 North, which is a nonprofit organization, I do believe, that runs this startup competition every year. and invest in these companies. And then over the course of the year, when the competition's not going on, they provide a lot of guidance and advice to the startups and all of that that they invested in from the previous round's competition. And they don't just, hey, here's a bunch of money and good luck. They're hands-on, and they help the entrepreneurs grow their companies and find good employees and partners in the Western New York region. They also help introduce you to other investment groups in their network of investors as well. So
kind of the after the startup stage, people who've been watching to see what you've been doing with the money and how you've been helping the community might be interested in helping the next round.
Yes.
As you get larger, that's what they're doing, is keeping that network open for you.
Yeah. And then I'd imagine like a lot of any previous entrepreneurs or startups that go on to be successful from the 43 North competition probably end up being advocates or backers or part of that investor network of investing back into the next generation of companies coming up through there.
That's awesome.
That's what I would do.
So what did you have to do for this submission process? I know like different grants, different festivals, everything like that have their own specific rules, but this is a little different because it's not just the creative stuff, it's the business stuff.
It was fairly straightforward, and if anything, I would think a little more streamlined than I was expecting. It wasn't really looking for drawn out answers. I think the longest blank that you could fill out was 1,000 characters, which
for you.
Yeah, I was constantly rewriting everything.
Kris
trying to
loves to write the great American novel answer for everything.
I just feel
he
like
wants to make sure you understand.
The more information you have, the more
you know.
you are, and then the better decision you can make. So I was hoping that we were going to get to upload our pitch decks, our investor prospectus, our business plans, a couple of the sizzle reels that we had, and all these different documents and files and media. And no, it was a lot of just a couple, I'd say 15, 20 fill-in-the-blank questions, and then some just background information on your team and crew. And then you had to do a 1-minute video that wasn't any kind of drawn-out production value. It was just the founder talking to the camera for 1 minute straight, saying why they think their company would be a good fit for the 43 North competition.
How did that go?
I didn't want to use the teleprompter because I wanted it to be authentic and from the heart.
Sure.
But talking to myself, staring at myself, is about as inauthentic as it could possibly potentially get. There's no leading question. There's no back and forth with anybody. There's no eye contact with anything. And so I just kept trying to say stuff. And I get to like, well, it sounds good, sounds good. I don't know where I'm going. And I completely failed the landing. Now I can't use any of that. Because it's all, there's no conclusion to whatever the hell this idiot was just rambling about. So I kept having all these stunted sections that I tried to edit together and I put a video together in place. And it was all done from the single camera, 2 different takes. But like the depth of where I was sitting, I think was slightly different between the 2 takes. So the focus and that. One take, my shirt looked like kind of dark brown. And then the other take, it looked kind of dark purple. And I had to try to color correct the cutting back and forth between the 2 takes. And
what was my one suggestion?
I don't know. Use a teleprompter, but that's not authentic. That would have been authentic.
But did it feel authentic when you didn't use one?
It still looked like I was reading from a teleprompter, which was the weirdest part about the whole thing.
How weird! What were you looking at to make it look like you were? What? So, you didn't even have the monitor behind you to do that weird thing where you make eye contact with yourself instead of with the camera?
I shot it with my S10 Plus, which is a gorgeous phone that shoots 4K video.
Just doesn't get Wi-Fi calling or MMS messages over
And I shot
Wi-Fi
it where I could see the screen, so I was looking at myself. But because I was looking at myself, kind of, I wasn't looking where the camera is, because the camera's like basically to the far left of the screen.
Camera phone.
So I'm looking at the center of the screen and the camera's over there, so it still looks like I'm kind of looking off screen from the sense of where the camera's located, so it still looks like I'm reading from the teleprompter.
So you might as well have read from the teleprompter and been able to get it all in one take, and then your shirt would have been one color the whole time.
Yeah, but it would have been like this, and it would have been completely drowning and
I do love when writer-directors admit that they can't deliver a line for the life of
Hold up!
Oh, baby, you
Hold on.
write the
No,
line
no,
and you
no.
can't even say it your damn
I
self?
can deliver lines.
No, you
and
can't. You just admitted you can't.
Off the
Would
cuff,
come
I can
off
do it.
like this if I read it from
Off
a
the cuff, I can do
teleprompter,
it.
even though you wrote it.
Like, listen, I think, what is the stupid type of acting where somebody throws out, we're
Improv.
Yeah, I think improv acting is the cheesiest, corniest, most desperate, begging version of performance that there is. Oh, please pay attention to me. Everything's funny.
What does that have to do
'cause I'm
with you
improv.
not being able to deliver a damn line that you wrote?
Where I'm going with this is...
Why you gotta be bashing on improv?
If we're talking about improv talent, I could wreck anybody under the sun as improv and actually have it be legitimately good acting and humor and not this fake because I'm being hyperbolic with everything because it's improv.
When was the last time you did improv?
I do improv.
When did you ever
all day,
do improv?
every day.
No.
Oh,
That's not the
yeah.
same.
I improv all day, every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
There are actors with their hearts being ripped out by people who say that kind of thing.
Yeah. Listen.
I can do it because I see it and I think it's bullshit, so I can totally do bullshit. I got no problem with that. Most of my life is bullshit.
I think people.
I got this.
I think most people overact and think they're great improv actors, and I just think that freaking I can get into a character.
I would love to see you take a class at Groundlings just to see you have to deal with it. I want to see you be creative like that on the spot and do it.
Here's the thing: is like even in a scripted content, if you want me to act within the narrative of this story, if I can ad-lib it and freelance and just be that character, I can nail that shit.
Oh,
but
you know what you just did?
You give me lines and tell me I have to say this stuff as that character. Now I can't focus on being the character because I'm focused too much on reciting stupid lines.
So you don't know how to deliver lines. That's exactly what you just said.
I know
is
how
when
to...
you're given lines, you can't do it, but apparently you're better than most improv actors. You're just...
yeah.
Boom! Never done it. I can do it so well, but
I can.
As we
I'm
circle back around,
that's why I can.
Chris
just
doesn't know
in.
how to deliver lines that are actually given to him. Thank you.
No.
For
I know how the lines should be delivered.
go
and I know
back
how
4
it
minutes.
sound
Everyone
great.
see how this starts, and the fact that see, Emily's an improver. And he's just all, I could totally do it. Never done it before, never took an acting class in it, never even tried the games just for fun.
You know who else is a great improv actor? Psychopaths. Because they just embody a new character and they pretend to be something on the spot. So, like, it's not like it's an insanely crazy skill set. You just pretend to be something else. You just don't have somebody else stuffing the words in your mouth. You got to make them up as you go.
Are you comparing yourself to a psychopath?
No, I'm comparing...
You are failing. Where is the fail button? No.
Listen.
That is an ultimate fail.
I'm simply... You're ruining the focus by leaning forward here.
Oh, yeah.
Epic fail.
No.
I apologize for nothing.
We know that.
The point of the matter is that improv acting is easy, and the people that think that they're doing it really well are usually just over actors that are being way too hyperbolic, and they think that just because they did it on the fly, it automatically is funny. That's what drives me nuts.
Oh, Em and I are going to have a little talk.
It's like being in a room full of comedians where every comedian sits there and thinks they have to be the funniest comedian in the damn room, and nothing is funny any longer because you're trying too damn hard. I don't like it when people try to be funny. It's not funny. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, we did this.
Oh, we'll talk about this again when Em comes on.
We did
There
this
is
one.
no, this is all I got to say about that.
We did. So I had to make this 1 minute video. I may or may not have a purple or brown shirt in it, depending on which sentence I'm speaking. But it's done. It's been submitted. We will.
Fantastic.
We will find out in the near future how it goes down.
All right. So we're going to talk about the main topic here. This is the main topic. It's about 6:24. It's about time. We're taking a little long. I'm going to give you 10 to 15 minutes to discuss this with me.
You're the one who wants to... No.
Get on your freaking case about your improv.
Let me preface this. Andrea wanted to talk about this.
Oh, who came out to me? Who came out to me? Do you want to have this as your main topic? I was
reminding you of the topic you suggested earlier in the week. So the game...
I get to premise it.
The game I am currently playing because off and on we always talk video games here, and there's different games that we play.
He's somewhat gotten over his RDR2 fetish.
RDR2.
Yeah, look at that. I played it for like 7 weeks straight, every moment I could when I wasn't working. Andrea stopped using the TV and started watching things on her phone.
Yeah, and they didn't put enough content out there fast enough, and now I'm over it when they're dumping content out there.
So he's finished up with that. He's completed, I guess, all the games.
So every month, PlayStation gives you 2 new free games, online games, every single month. And usually, whatever comes out, there's one of them that like I'll play the shit out of for that month. And then once I'm done with it, and a new game comes out, I'm done. Every once in a while, one comes out that catches my fancy, and I keep playing it for a few more months because the next free games are kind of crappy. We're in that cycle right now with Conan Exiles. And what Conan Exiles is you start with your little barbarian character, and you're thrown out into the exiles of the Conan the Barbarian universe, and you have to build yourself up and build things and create a hut and a house and get weapons and maintain.
What else do you get, Kris?
You have to maintain your survival and.
How do you do that, Kris? Do you do it by your own merit? No.
You start.
No, you don't.
You start
Not at all.
by hunting animals, breaking rocks, and collecting sticks so you can make better and better weapons. And then as you build your own house, then you can build I can't remember what the name of the thing is called, but it's basically a slave breaking wheel where you got to go throughout the universe, find different slaves, club them over the head a bunch of times until you knock them out, drag them all the way back to your base, and put them on the slave wheel.
So let's explain this a little bit better here. So the other night, I look up, and here is Kris, just come across a very happy little village with teepees and people just minding their own business. Not bothering him.
I needed the
has
stuff.
Nothing to do with him. What does the psychopath do? He starts killing people in the shadows while they're protecting their village, and there's a lookout at each end. He comes out of the shadows with his pet alligator.
Yeah, I brought my alligator with me.
Now he gets to have a pet alligator. What's up with this? Where I've asked about the bunnies that he's had. Nope, can't make them pets. Can't have pets. Doesn't let you have pets. Oh, heaven forbid you have a friendly pet. No, he has an alligator.
Of course.
That he's killing people. He's coming up in the dark. And then he drags this woman off.
She was a performer that helps restore health.
Now let's go into the next part. He brings her home after the crocodile has been following this woman being dragged by, was it her feet or her hair? Which one was it you were dragging her by?
It's a rope that just kind of
yes, as he keeps thunking her unconscious every time she starts to struggle.
Or she's out until you get her to the slave wheel.
Yeah, or until the crocodile almost starts going after her, thinking, oh, this is food, he's just bringing it back with me, yeah. So they get back to their little compound, and what do I see? The crocodile has gone inside and is standing next to another woman who is dancing like her life depends on it.
This is the tier 1 slave girl that I already had performing at my base, and I found what is called a name thrall, which is the highest level of each variation. So I found a new lady performer that's the highest level performer, and she's going to be my new slave performer.
He already has a slave performer.
She's a tier 1! She's
Do you care?
She's a starter wife. You gotta upgrade.
Does it matter? Honestly?
Yes, it does. Because
does she dance any differently?
No, but the perks...
Exactly.
But the perks...
But here's the thing. The crocodile comes in the house with them.
The perks you get
Kris
are better.
is all, hey, that crocodile's pretty close to my dancer. He's decided he's just gonna be in the house staring at the girl, like licking his chops damn near. And then Kris tells me as he goes up the steps to check on his other level of slaves that he has just sawing wood and pounding metal like these.
Well, the big sawing wood never quits.
Tells me he can't have 2 girl dancers. Apparently, you don't get to do that. You have to break one, and then once her will is broken, then you get rid of the first one. How do you get rid of the first one? Do you set her free?
Oh, it doesn't let you do that, no.
No. Tell them all what you do with them, Kris.
Well, you gotta take them out, loot them, and then feed them to the alligator.
You have a slave. What are you looting from her?
Whatever she had.
She doesn't have anything. You took it all.
No, usually they got one or two
Will.
weapons just in case the base gets raided. They can get to work and defend the place. But let's talk about the real...
And then she gets fed to the crocodile that was standing there as if he knew that she was his lunch because a new chick had just been brought along. She has to dance in front of this crocodile the whole time. Well, he's like, you don't tell the crocodile to leave the house. I mean, a crocodile goes when a crocodile wants to go. You don't try it and shush it out the door. Oh no, the imaginary ones and zeros of the coding world. Don't thrust that one in, but go ahead and feed a person.
Let's talk about the big beef with
Which
Conan
one?
Exiles, though. So there's an international version of the game, and there's a
This is a big beef.
American version of the game.
This is a hilarious pun.
And apparently,
Big beef.
even though we lead the
We'll see,
world
we'll
in
see.
violence and school shootings and all these other horrible atrocities, we're not allowed to be trusted with video game nudity. Because the whole rest of the world, you have the option of full nudity for the characters. So, like, you can have the boobs as big as you want and have the girl dancing naked in your base. You can have your character run around with no fig leaf around his waist, so his wiener's just flopping against your thighs as you're running over the hillside. It's full nudity's enabled. But no, America, PlayStation had to censor themselves, and we only get partial nudity in America.
Would you pay more for the game?
No, it was a free game.
Yeah, would you pay for it if it had nudity?
No.
If they gave you the option right now. If you will spend $19.99, you can have naked people.
Conan's a fun little game. You get to build yourself up. You get to travel all
You
around.
get to hurt lots of things.
Yeah, you just
Lots of things and people.
Yeah, it's raiding and killing. You're a barbarian.
It's great.
Raiding, killing, and dragging.
It's really helping society right
so,
now.
But the animations and the interactions, the fight graphics are horrible. It is so Mickey Mouse and so glitchy and wonky that it kind of adds a little bit to the character of it, but it's super cheesy for a mainstream PlayStation 4 game.
I don't like it. I don't think it's helping society. I think it's hurting, actually. I'm tired of these games.
So what do you think? I'm
They're ticking me off.
I'm gonna go start beating women over the head with a club and dragging them back to our house.
I think the more you see anything,
they can work backstage for
the
us.
more you're desensitized to it. So the more likely you are to not actually have the reaction you're supposed to have as a human being in real life when shit happens.
I'm 100%.
Instead of people stopping when they see someone beat the crap out of someone else, they videotape it. They walk across the street and zoom in while they watch someone getting their ass beat because you're that desensitized to it that you honestly think it's okay to camera it instead of try and stop it.
You know what I'm desensitized to?
Ruins everything. Why aren't we playing Family Feud?
I'm desensitized.
Why is the Newlywed Game not the top show? Why are there not happy freaking games people are playing anymore?
I am desensitized to stabbing cartoon antelopes that blink out of space when I hit them with my spear.
So
and then having
instead
to
you'll
chop
stab
'em
a
up for beef.
crocodile over and over again until suddenly it disappears and you now have imaginary meat in your backpack. Really?
Yeah,
really?
well,
That's a difference?
Sometimes you need
Either
reptile.
way, you're hurting something and you don't give crap.
Sometimes you need reptile skin to make better equipment and clothes.
All right. Well, we are going to include Emily on this conversation. She plays video games. So we're going to have Emily call in. Emily, if you can call in, that would be fantastic.
She's got that stupid Xbox, so I don't think she can play.
You are a
She can
huge
play
nerd.
Conan Exiles. They don't give free games.
Maybe
away.
she wouldn't. Maybe that's
Maybe
not her
she-
game. Maybe she'd rather play an improv game.
Maybe she wouldn't.
Maybe. All right. Emily says she is ready whenever we are. She's going to be trying to call in here in just a second. I will say,
So you telling me you think violence in video games translates to violence in society?
I think it translates into insensitivity in society. I'm not saying that people are any more violent than they already were, but I'm saying you're less likely to actually stop it.
I think people that are going to be aggressive and violent are going to channel that one way or the other, and they're going to look for anything to get them amped up one way or the other. Can you give
Hello, Emily.
Emily her little graphic?
Yes, I will. And Emily's Corner!
Uh-oh.
I don't know if she can hear us.
Can you hear us, Emily?
We can see you.
We are good to go for Emily's Corner.
Let's see.
We hear your TV.
We see you.
Talk to us, Emily. Your pillow looks like cat ears.
I have a feeling. Hey, can you see us? Well, she can hear us. Uh-oh. She can't hear us, though. Oh,
I don't
no.
understand how it's any different than
All right,
it was
we're going to
a little bit
refresh
ago.
our stuff.
Can you hear us now, Emily?
We can hear your TV.
Emily, can you hear us now? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
No.
Aww.
And
Hold on.
Are we on a different device than when she called in earlier? Because everything was good to go when we did our trial run.
Tried it with the laptop. We'll try it again.
Oh
Just try and
boy.
call back in. Oh, Emily.
Oh, come on!
A little bit of patience. A little bit of patience. Did anyone else have an outage today with Spectrum? The internet? It was like all across the country. Major cities were having outages. It was very weird. But we were affected this afternoon.
Major cities.
Boston, New York, LA, Houston. There was somewhere else in the Midwest that said it, but it wasn't Chicago.
I'm so sick.
Woo! I see you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah! Nice! Hello, hello! How's it going, Emily?
It shows me. Yeah, it's me.
It is you, Emily.
It's going fine.
So, Emily, we're going to start off with one thing before we get into the topics we talked about. Improv.
Oh,
What's your take on Chris's little, I could do improv so easy, no problem. I'm the king of improv. Never done it, totally can.
Technically, I have done it. We did it on the murder mystery. That was all improv.
That is true. We did. You guys both did a pretty good job at improving.
Overacting.
Talking about it, what about you, Chris?
Emily, have you ever played Conan Exiles?
No, I haven't.
No, you're
I've
missing.
never heard of it until tonight.
You're missing out. That's what happens when you got the Xbox.
No, I'm not missing out. I'm doing just fine. Waiting for my Blair Witch game that's coming out, and heard Fable's coming out with a new one, so I'm doing just fine.
Very cool. So do you play any of those games, though, where, like, the main objective is to kill everything else in order for you to be able to survive more?
Like Grand Theft Auto. I think that's like
has
the
missions. Like,
Well,
you can do stuff with that.
I'll add a more clear gamer question.
Okay.
Do you play any survivor games where you kind of like the object of the game is just to survive in the environment as long as possible and build up your tools and your resources, and you go out and explore the world more and more, and there's dangerous things out there that you need stronger and stronger weapons for? Do you play any games styled like that?
yeah, like Skyrim, right?
I've never played Skyrim.
Elder Scrolls. Oh, is that just an Xbox game?
I think Skyrim is just an Xbox game.
Oh, well, you're missing out. Sucks for you.
Well, I mean,
I love that you got to do that back to him.
as long as they're
baby.
keeping all the bad games over there as their exclusives, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that sounds like Elder Scrolls. You start off weak and you build up, you level up, you craft your armor and weapons and
But is
everything.
the only way
and
you do that by killing other people to get their stuff? Or do you make
yeah, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to.
Sometimes you have to, or you always have to. Is that the only way you
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game where you always have to kill something.
Yeah, Conan isn't always.
Do you
Always.
Do you have to cut down trees or break rocks in any of those games?
I don't think in the Skyrim that would make no sense. It's in space, right?
No, Skyrim is like kind of like a Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
There's dragons. There's literally dragons, and you have to like pick you pick flowers and stuff to get. I don't know if you chop wood though.
But like
I chop wood and break blocks in Minecraft.
Did you ever play Don't Starve?
No.
Oh, it's so much fun. But it's a lot like those games where the environment is the enemy, and you just got to keep getting yourself stronger and stronger to survive in the environment. And well, Don't Starve was great because it was one of them ones where when you die, you lose everything that you had and built up and have to start over again. So it's how long can you exist in this environment without starving and dying? And then the winter comes, and you got to survive the winter with warmer stuff, but you got to build it up by then. But a lot of these games always have two main things in common. You got to cut down trees to get wood, and you got to break rocks to get rocks to build things. And there's nothing that depresses me more when I'm playing a video game than when I'm just hours and hours mindlessly breaking rocks or cutting down trees. It just feels like such a jackass breaking virtual rocks.
Yeah, so in Conan, they just have slaves that do it for them all day. So in the background, you hear someone sawing. Another person just chip. Like
I did play this. I did play this one game. I think it's called Catherines.
Okay.
And you're a giant, and you have all these little people, and you pick them up, and you tell them what to do, and then they literally just have to go back and forth from cutting a tree, putting the logs where you want them, going back to the trees, and they just keep doing it. They don't even stop. Once they're done at their tree, like their tree gets cut down, they just move to the next tree. They do not stop until there's absolutely no trees, and you tell them what to do next.
Did you ever play
That's
the puzzle game Lemmings?
I think so.
Where like each board, there's so many of them, and you get so many different types of actions that you can give them. Like one, you can make a digger, and he'll dig through the wall. Another one, you can give a parachute.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll drop a certain distance. And the goal is to get all of the lemmings from like one side of the board all the way to the other side of the board using some of the different techniques. So like if you have to get up the side of a hill, one guy will be able to build a ladder or a bridge. But all the other lemmings, when they hit a wall, they'll turn around and go the opposite direction. So if you're not building the maze correctly in the puzzle, they'll all walk off the edge, and you'll lose a bunch.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, no, that one's been around since probably the 90s. But it's just a little simple, fun puzzle game of solving each of the board by getting the lemmings to mindlessly walk to where you want them to go.
sounds like the free game they would have at school on the computer.
Yeah.
Like there was Solitaire, and there was Oregon Trail, and then there was that one.
Lemmings.
Where they're like, nah, I mean, it's thought process. It teaches you
What about
stuff.
Battletoads? Did you ever play Battletoads?
On the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I know
Pretty sure I
what
have.
Frogger
Pretty sure
is.
it's
There's a browser version of it.
I could never get past a certain part. I always died at the same area.
That was a tough game.
I gave them unbeatable. That's a bullcrap game.
Yeah, that was probably one of the toughest games I've ever played.
So, Emily, you have joined the 30 Club. You're not officially in your 30s. You're officially capping out your 20s. So you're at that sweet spot and no one gets to give you any crap for a full year. So, we have a couple questions. We're going to start with, I remember a couple months ago, you were getting a big birthday party, surprise party for one of your friends. It took you months to get this all ready. So, I want to know.
Yeah, started in July
and
October.
October, exactly.
Yeah, started in July for October.
tell us what you got for your birthday. What special stuff did the people in your world do? Because I heard a few things, and I want to hear all about them for real. I saved it up all weekend, not trying to get you to talk about it on Discord, so you could tell us all now. So what was your week like last week? Tell us about it.
Okay, so first weekend of June, to start it all off, June 1st, I hung out with my mom and a family friend. And then Wednesday was my actual birthday, June 5th. And my dad took me out to dinner with my brother, his wife, and my brother's wife. And then
Where did you go?
Friday, Valentino's. I don't know if that's just like in the basket thing or...
Is it like Italian restaurant?
It's a pizza place. It's a pizza buffet place, so it's got like pasta, pizza. It's got a little of everything.
Very cool. So you went out to eat with your dad.
Right, and then Friday I went out to eat with my mom and a few family friends. There were about 7 of us, and we went to the Monster Club, which is a new horror-themed restaurant that just opened up.
Okay, so
so excited about that.
Because you mentioned it a little bit, and this is what I totally... What is a horror-themed restaurant? Is it like the idea of like a 1950s diner, how it has that kind of theme, but it's a horror
food look
movie?
like gore food? Like,
are the waiters... like, you tell us details.
No.
This is exciting. This is
and I can post pictures to Discord afterwards. So you walk in and there's a big like Wolfman statue standing in front of like a Wolfman poster. And you go in and you have Chucky in a high chair as like a little joke. And then there's the new Pennywise statue. And on one side of the restaurant where all the booths are, and the booths look like coffins.
Okay, very cool.
And each booth has their own arched window, and out of the window is a creature or a horror figure that's like coming, like reaching out, like there's Freddy Krueger, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, a bunch. There's Alien was one of them. And then we got the Alien one because there was a bunch of us, and it was the only table that could fit 9 people. And then they have like a big screen TV that was playing at the time Frankenstein, like the classic Frankenstein movie, black and white.
So wait, was your sister an alien?
No, we just had like the on the wall. We thought it would be cool if like the servers and stuff dressed up. They just had Monster Club shirts on.
Aw, seriously? They didn't even make them have to like come in
We
Halloween
thought it would
gear,
be like
even
cool
put a mask on?
if they dressed up, yeah. There was like an old school monster pinball machine that actually worked. You could play it. So, I mean, it was just like, and like some of the cocktails are named after horror movies. Like the one I wanted to try was called Hiya Georgie, obviously from It.
Gotcha.
So it was just very, it was just very horror themed. I loved it.
What kind of food?
Burgers.
It's kind of like
they had like shake. Yeah, the burgers, chicken tenders, cheese curds, like just like a regular restaurant. We get shakes with or without booze.
Did they have anything that was like one of those, it's like named after a certain monster or whatever, but it has a twist on the recipe, so it's something you would never expect?
I don't know if they're planning on doing that. I was kind of thinking that, but right now they're just like burgers, like the one's called the Monster Club Burger, and it was just a regular cheeseburger. They weren't named after like any movies. Like in Iowa, they have Zombie Burger, and everything is named after some sort of zombie movie, like the We're Coming to Get You, Barbara, and the Winchester. Which I love that the Winchester is fish and chips. Which I just think that's the most hilarious thing in the world.
Have you seen that movie about the Winchester house? The haunted house from the Winchester
I
War?
have not yet. I want to. I have not
A couple
yet.
months ago. It's pretty cool. Like, and it's an actual
Is it
house.
actually good?
Yeah, it's actually good. It
I want
kind of makes me want to go visit the house. Like, that would be
Yeah,
nice.
I've always wanted to go visit that. I kind of want to have a house where stairs lead to nothing, and
I want secret passageways. Like, I want to
I
see
would
one
love-
of those renovation new house shows that makes a house with secret passageways. I want to know how you would.
I want a room that's like built upside down. I want one of those funky houses, like where the furniture is nailed to the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. Like, I just always thought that was the most coolest thing ever.
Kind of like a mix of the Winchester house and The Haunting. You know the one that I'm talking about?
Yeah,
one
the
with
Haunt-
Zeta Jones?
The Haunt.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cool
the
house.
Rose Red and the Winchester house. We just combined all three of those
Like,
places. Which
people think
was,
it's creepy. I think it's super cool. So super cool.
I think it's super cool too.
Well, now we know what we might be doing for your 31st then. Maybe that'll be your way to kick off your 30s, your official kickoff of the 30s next year, is we could go do a haunted house for it. That would be a nice little
That would be
surprise. Yeah. Okay, so was that the last thing that you did for your birthday then? Or was there any extra surprises over the weekend?
So that was it for there. I think something is going to happen this weekend.
Ooh.
I don't know what.
But you've been told to keep your
But I
weekend
think-
open?
Yeah, I think something's going down. Next weekend, my dad got me a hotel room. So me and a couple of friends are going to stay there, go swimming,
Hotel party.
do some fun stuff. And then the last weekend of June, we're going to Comic-Con, local Comic-Con, and probably have like a little game night afterwards.
Is there a Comic-Con
So-
in Omaha?
Yeah, it's called O Comic-Con.
Gotcha.
And it's actually right, it's at Mid-America Center? No. Yeah, Mid-America Center. In Council Bluffs, like right across the, but it's O Comic-Con. And it's only been going for a few years. And so they're still trying to build up. And so I go to, even if there's nobody I want to see, I try and go just to support because
Definitely.
they can't grow.
If people don't
Right,
go out
and
and
you
support
have-
every year, then they're just going to show lower numbers, and then they're not going to have it at all.
Right, and then they
Yeah,
can't get
that's
those bigger right, and they can't get those bigger celebrities, and you would be so we're probably not surprised. There are so many people that comment, well, guess I'm not going this year, these guys suck, why can't you get better? And it's like, you saying you not going is not going to help them.
Exactly.
It's like, you need to go, even if there's no one to support, like that's how they grow.
And those pre-sale tickets, like the people who get the tickets before it's even announced who's going to be going, that's how they get the money to be able to invite the bigger people. Like they
Right, yeah,
say, like, People don't
exactly.
even know who's coming, but we have at least 500 people who have tickets already without having anyone announced. And they can use that money to actually entice the people that they know everyone wants to see.
Everybody wants something new, but they all want it to be 3-4 years in and established and all big and beautiful.
That fake success
Right.
overnight when you're like, it was never overnight. This took a decade to get to this part.
Yeah, and someone even commented that. They're like, well, the Comic-Con in Kansas City is, like, huge. And it's like, they've been around for a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a bigger city. It's like, it's Omaha and Council Bluffs. Like, we need help.
Yeah, like Omaha has its own little art district there. I remember that from when I was leaving. There was like a whole section that was actually all like arty and cool vintage stores and record stores and a lot of places that are trying to be more hip to everything going on to be able to bring in more business. But if people all want to drive 7-8 hours down to Kansas City instead and pay buttloads for the hotel, okay.
Yeah, so we got that at the end of June, and that will end my birthday month.
So we do have a Discord question about your birthday. Siobhan wants to know, what is your dream way to celebrate your birthday? Do it. Tell it.
I'm gonna keep it cool.
You don't have to keep it clean. You're an adult. It's your dream.
Apologize for nothing.
A party with honestly, the greatest thing, the best birthday I think I could have is a party where all my online friends or friends that are far away, like you guys, we are able to come, and so I finally get to personally meet everyone that I've liked for years.
That would be awesome. That would be very cool. And
I always say if I won the lottery, my first thing I would do is go on a road trip to every state and meet all my online
So you
friends.
gotta do a road trip documentary. Where you
I
meet them all.
well, we do have a full year to try and plan a party at one of those houses. They have to rent it out for private affairs. They have to.
Omaha's basically in the middle of everything.
We could have everyone fly in.
Yeah, we're
Are
smack
there
dab in the
any
middle.
houses there?
Oh, speaking of,
Oh.
as a Midwesterner, do you guys consider Ohio as part of your crew?
Do you consider Ohio
Is
a
Ohio
Midwestern
part of
state?
our Midwest?
Is it the Midwest? Is Ohio the Midwest?
It's kind of more eastern.
Yes, it is.
Would you call it an East Coast
Yeah.
state, though?
Would I call it East Coast?
I call it the Northeast.
It's not East Coast. East Coast. Yeah, it's not on the coast, but it's not. It's not mid. It's not in the mid. It's east.
Anything east of the Mississippi is not the Midwest. Everything west of the Mississippi is the Midwest.
Do you consider that the rule, too?
Yeah, I think so.
So, Indiana.
I'm trying to picture the Missouri River in my head.
No, but Illinois. The Mississippi runs between Illinois and Iowa.
Mississippi. Yeah.
Yep.
You're saying that Illinois is not the Midwest. You're
Is
saying Wisconsin
Illinois
is not the Midwest
Isn't
because
that-
the Mississippi runs between Illinois and Iowa. 'Cause my parents used to
Hold on.
sing a weird song.
Isn't
each time we
Illinois
crossed the
technically
border.
known as the gateway to the Midwest? Because that's what the St. Louis Arch is as well. All of that is the
Just
entrance
because
to
a
the
place
Midwest.
builds an arch doesn't mean they get to claim it from then on.
It's a landmark to tell you where the Midwest
They
is.
built
That's why they
themselves. It's
got
not
it.
like it was there.
Oh,
It's not like the Grand Canyon.
No. The big arch in St. Louis is literally the gateway to the Midwest.
so just yeah. So I wouldn't consider Illinois. I wouldn't consider Illinois part of the middle either.
No.
It's a Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the borderline, everybody. Laying down the line from Nebraska. We give you one state distance around us. After that, you're qualified elsewhere. Qualified elsewhere.
Yep. Pretty much.
So, last time you were on, you were telling us about how there was a new job promotion opportunity at the place you were working at, and you hadn't applied. But your managers called
Right.
you into the office because they wanted to know why you hadn't applied. Like, are you no longer enjoying it here?
Right.
And what's going on? Why don't you want to be one of us? So we have an update. Now tell us what is going on with your job now. Yes.
So my anxiety got really high thinking of the position that they called me in for, that they were hiring for, was a team lead, in which I would be, pretty much a supervisor. They call it a team lead, though, above 6 to 8 people. And I'd have to do training with them and, fire people, write them up
Gotcha.
if they don't don't meet the qualifications. And so I had done the interview, and they told me that they wanted to go on to the next level, which was a fake training class with them, see if I could train. And before my time was to come, I started having a mini panic attack. My anxiety was so high, I was freaking myself out. And I just, in my head, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm texting my mom, and I'm like, would you be mad if I didn't take this job? I'm like, I know it'd be a good opportunity, but I'm like, I'm not feeling good about it.
Yeah.
And, she said, no, whatever, you have to do what you feel is right. So the human resource lady came over, and she's like, are you ready? And I go, no. And she's really nice. She's like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Well, it turns out my coworker who had seen me freaking out had told her, kind of knew already that I was, like, in panic mode.
Yeah.
So I didn't do the next part. I just let it go, and the 5 team leads were picked. So we had a big meeting about it to announce, like, who was on whose team. And they announced that they were thinking about maybe getting another quality assurance worker, which, checks the work of all the other people's work. I checked to make sure that they entered the data correctly and all that. And I'm like, hey, that sounds like something actually that I think I could do. My QAs are always really high. So I told the team lead, the QA team lead, hey, if you really are looking for someone, I put my hat in that. So then the next day, the resource lady came over, and she's like, so are you serious about this one? And I go, yes. I feel good about this one. I promise, I do want to do this one. So they did a smaller interview, just asked me, a couple of questions. But that same day, I had to pack up my desk and move to another desk, and I became part of the quality assurance team. And it did come with a small rating as well. So,
and you don't have to fire everybody.
I know, and I'm so glad I'm not a team lead. I keep seeing everybody. I deal with the team leads, and I'm just like so glad that I'm not one of them. I'm like, I made the right choice.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of responsibility when it's all on your shoulders. Like, no one they can't pay you enough for that added stress. Like, it's totally
exactly.
To have your fellow employees be mad at you because they're doing their shit wrong. Like, at least with quality assurance, you only have to tell them once. With team leader, you'd have to be on them all the time. That sucks.
Right, and I don't have to write anyone up. If their score is lower than what it's supposed to be, I give it to the team lead and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Like, that has nothing to do with me. That's how you talk them. Exactly. That is awesome. That is yay. See, good things are happening. So that is the first thing that has happened, I guess, in the around birthday time. Kind of a goal for the end of your 20s. But let's talk about any other goals you had for your 20s.
Yeah, I'd say that would be a goal. Like, I went from data entry, which I've done since I graduated high school in 2007, and finally moving up to a higher level.
So is that your main goal of your 20s?
My main goal is just to survive. I don't have much.
You did. Congratulations, you did survive your 20s. So what is the new goal for your 30s? What would you like to have done by the time you're 39?
Get married. Love to do that. Also, I'm thinking about going back to school and getting some sort of degree.
In anything in particular? What's striking your fancy? What do you enjoy doing? Now that you've actually learned that is a huge thing, is you have to actually enjoy what you do, or oh my god, it's all worth it.
There's a couple things I'm thinking about. I'd love to, of course I'd love to be an actor and writer, but, realistically I have to have that, the main job as I do those side jobs. And, I don't know, I love children, but teachers don't make crap.
Nope. Although they should.
Yes, they should. Even as a lead teacher in a daycare, that was insane. And I was dealing with the toddlers, so. So I think, with my love of children, but knowing how teachers don't get paid enough, I was thinking child psychology.
Okay. Cool.
And then in my head, I see it as, but I love doing puzzles. I love figuring things out. I love, I have a CSI game that I play, and so I love like finding the clues and figuring out who done it. And so then I started thinking, what about a forensics person?
That would be cool. That would be kind of intense. Like, would you have to take medical school for that, or is that one of those
I think
you
you
get,
do.
like a 2 or 4 year program?
Yeah, I think I would think you would need at least some kind of medical part of it, because you are dealing with that. But yeah, I don't know. Or detective. I just really love solving whodunits and puzzles and using my mind a lot. So that's why I thought maybe forensics or detective.
Speaking of puzzles and whodunits, are you going to hang out with us for Bullet Blitzes today?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess. Okay. Well, Kris is saying that's your goal for your 30s. He's ready to move on to our next Discord question and then Bullet Blitzes.
We are moving on to Bullet Blitzes.
Okay, we're skipping the next Discord question. Sorry, Siobhan, if you could move anywhere, where would it be and why? I like New Orleans. You know why? Because I like the Anne Rice books, The Witching Hour. Have you read those yet, Emily? Have you read that?
Yes.
I love those books.
I started.
Like, they make me want to
I would make English just because I love the accent and I love the culture.
And they also have the castles that might have the hidden passageways, as well as Ireland and Scotland. Oh!
There's so much haunted stuff going on there.
And
I'm really
the Moors from the Secret Garden. The Moors.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Kris.
So,
all right.
Moving on to the Bullet Blitzes, which are now officially Laser 2s.
Whatever, dude.
Yep,
all right.
that's the sound effect for the Bullet Blitzes now is Laser 2.
All right. Do you want to go first with the Bullet Blitz question for us?
I will go first.
Okie dokie, you go.
It's actually a game, so we're going to go around the room, Andrea, then Emily, and we're going to see if between the two of you, you can guess all 10 of these items. So,
crap.
A list went viral about this lady whose husband was going to a bachelor party, and she put a list of rules for the bachelor party online that she expected all the men at the bachelor party to follow. So you guys have 3 strikes to come up with all 10 items on the list. Andrea, what is your first guess?
No sex with the stripper.
No strippers, dancers, women at all. A lot of these men are already married. We will give you a ding for that one.
Yeah.
Emily, what is your
That's
guess?
one.
So she wrote 10 rules to him.
Yes, that all.
Do we know where he was going?
No, just
For the party?
just a traditional bachelor party that she had 10 rules for that she expected all of the guys to follow.
Oh, all of them. Okay. No drinking?
No alcohol. Hubby doesn't drink and alcohol leads to bad choices. Good guess, Emily.
No drugs.
No illegal drugs. Number 1 on the list.
What state was she in? Illegal. She said illegal. That's why. What state is she in? Some states there are different things that.
Emily, you're up.
Okay. No hookers, no drinking, no drugs.
Did he have to call her like every hour?
Negative.
That's strike 1.
Let's see. You can only go to the ATM
That's a good one.
once.
Come on.
Negative.
Oh.
That's strike 2. All
right.
Emily, the team's on the
Apparently
ropes.
they're allowed to blow their money.
Okay, so let's see. No strippers, no alcohol, no drugs. No photos.
That would have been a
Nope.
smart one.
Okay, so the ones you guys missed.
No leaving the state.
No cigarettes. Hubby quit, so I don't want the temptation.
Oh, she's mean.
No fast
See,
cars.
I was putting
Taxis
I was
only.
putting cigarettes in for
With drugs.
drugs.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
fast cars. Taxis only.
Taxis only. Not even a limo. They can't even get a limo. No.
All phones need to be tracked at all times.
I was gonna say track, so that's why I said he needs to call her because I knew she wanted to track him.
No swearing.
That was gonna be my last guess. Was no cursing.
Everyone,
I should have guessed it.
everyone home by midnight.
Wow.
No hurting each other, including play wrestling.
Oh, she doesn't want anyone
Oh my
to get
God.
limping the next day down the aisle.
And no gambling. What else?
See, and
what
that's
else
why I
was?
asked you where they were going to be in Vegas or something like that. I was going to say no gambling.
Could be just poker with the boys at the house.
Weird.
That's
No,
true.
I could see no pranks
I
on
would
each other.
gambling too.
That would be a good one. No pranks on each other. I had a cousin who apparently the night before when her fiance went out for his bachelor party, they decided to shave off one of his eyebrows. They left the other one on. They shaved that one. And the next day when she saw him, she started crying. She was not happy. You've never seen a bride actually, like, the reception was bad. She was mad, and it was all of his men.
All right, dear. You are,
All right,
you
my
are
one.
up.
Now that the temperatures are getting sky high everywhere and the summer is officially back in, what tricks do you have for staying cool during the heat? And AC does not count. These are if you're in non-air conditioned atmospheres. What do you do to keep cool? These are our tricks and tips for everyone else.
I attempt to go weeks without putting socks on.
So you wear less clothing.
Well, sure. Starting with the socks.
All right. Emily, what do you have for a trick?
Move somewhere where I can have AC.
There you go. There you go. That one's always a nice one. So I found out peppermint oil will totally work. Like the essential oil peppermint oil. Like when you put it on, give it like just a couple minutes and you put it like where your pressure points are. So like your wrists and right behind your neck. And you can do it right there on your chest and on your forehead. But it cools. Like it literally makes a cooling sensation. Like a peppermint patty, but across your body. That is a super trick for everyone.
I just bought
$4 of little peppermint oil, and you'll feel like everything is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Emily,
right.
have you watched the new season of Black Mirror yet?
On Netflix? Do you have Netflix?
No. Yes. I know who's in that new season, and I don't want it.
Okay, so you've read the descriptions of the new episodes?
Yeah, I saw the trailer of it.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
we're going to start with you first.
You have about the right,
we're going to start with you first, ranking the 3 episodes in the order of what you think they're going to be quality-wise.
Okay. This is the Miley Cyrus one, right?
That's
the
one
th-
of the 3, yes.
The third one is the Miley Cyrus one. The first one is the video game one. And the second one
Okay.
is... What was the second one?
Here, let me look at it really quick.
The
You can read the description.
one was...
Come on, Netflix. Open up faster.
No, I can't...
Oh,
The second one was the rideshare driver and...
the British and social media company.
yeah, the social media
Smithereens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Based on what I think is going to be, I'm going to say the first one will be awesome. Second one will be okay. And third one just going no shit, bad.
Okay. And
I
I'm not a
100%
fan
see where you
not a fan
feel.
of hers.
I am not a fan of hers either. I was more than a little unhappy to have her be the person that they cast in there because I don't want to see her anymore. Like, I was happy with her being gone for a while. Like, she can just Britney Spears it somewhere else, whatever. I don't need to see her anymore. But the first one with the virtual reality video game, it wasn't even a Black Mirror what the hell, like it was more like a really, like that's what you guys were able to sell as a story to Black Mirror, really? Oh.
What's your ranking, dear?
I would actually rank that one third. It is uncomfortable. Like, not a good way.
Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
You'll see. There are some fundamental questions about that one. I will, even though I hate her personally, I will give the Miley Cyrus one number 2. Because, I mean, at least acting-wise, she didn't do as bad as I thought. And they didn't rely on her to be the main actor. She is actually a sub-actor in it. And I'll take that. I would rather her be a supporting character than the lead. So it did okay for everyone else around. They did a good job. I couldn't, whatever. And the middle one, with the kidnapping and social media aspect, I wanted it to be more. I thought it was going to be more, and when they actually explain why everything was happening, I was bored. Like, I totally lost interest. I was desensitized to the whole premise of it from that point on. Made me kind of sad. This season is a pooper.
All 3 episodes were very disappointing.
Not what we expect from Black Mirror.
My ranking is pretty much the same. The Topher Grace middle story is the best of the 3.
Topher Grace is in the middle one. He's a sub.
Oh, Topher Grace is in that one?
Like, the amount of time he's on screen, honestly, if you added it up, is less than 10 minutes. And even then, they're splitting the screen with the other actor he's talking to.
That one is the best of a bad bunch. The Miley Cyrus one is mildly interesting, and it is definitely better than the third one. The third one is like the Black Mirror jump the shark moment for me. It is
He
bad.
fell asleep. He fell asleep.
It is bad, awkward, and uncomfortable. And
he didn't see the ending. He fell asleep.
It creeps me out playing video games going forward.
Oh, the first one. I thought you were talking about the Miley Cyrus one is the third one. The third in your ranking is the first episode of this season about the virtual reality video games. Yeah, it's creepy. Super creepy.
Moving on.
All right.
Our last bullet point.
Last one. Do you have tattoos? Why did you get it if you do?
Yeah.
You both do? You have a tattoo?
Yeah, I do.
Chris has a tattoo?
Yeah.
I don't. So mine is an easy I don't, so I'm negated from it. So, why did you get it?
Sissy.
Would you ever get another? Or do you wish you had gotten a different tattoo or on a different place on your body? So why did you get it? Are you happy with it, or do you wish you had a different one? Would you rather it be on a different place? And would you get another? Oh yeah, I got like a 5-point question here, people. Essay it up. You got 1,000 words must be hit. Do it. And somebody goes first. Yes, I'll let ladies first.
Okay. I have one tattoo right now. It's on my left wrist.
Show us.
I got it. I don't know if you can see that, but
Cool.
actually, I was like,
When did you
I
get it?
didn't see that, but oh man, when did I get that? A few years after high school. I was a big fan of the Supernatural show.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me about season 3 of Supernatural. So whenever that was, they get this similar tattoo on their chest to help protect them from evil. And I have always been into supernatural, ghosts, witchcraft, all that stuff. So it kind of went with with who I was. And so I got it. My cousin did it, and I don't regret it. I like where it is. People always ask me if I'm a devil worshiper. And I do want another one. I want something with Winnie the Pooh, as well as I want to say have him holding like a balloon or something to represent my grandfather. So I get my love for Winnie the Pooh and a memorial for my grandpa.
What would be on the balloon?
See, I don't know if I'm holding a balloon with
The balloon around the symbol, so it looks like that's the symbol in the on your wrist, like the one that adds.
Yeah, so I was trying to think about that because he was in the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
We were both born on June 5th.
That's cool.
And he was a pigeon flyer. Like, he raised pigeons and raced them, and carrier pigeons, and it was a big part of his life. So then I thought about a feather as well. There's very many things, but I know I want Winnie the Pooh involved with it because that's my comfort is Winnie the Pooh. This horror loving supernatural person. Winnie the Pooh is her comfort.
Where would you want it?
So I do. I'm thinking either my other wrist or somewhere on my leg.
On your leg. Oh, I heard leg ones hurt. It totally hurts because the nerves down
this
there.
One, yeah, your side, where your hip is up here. Actually, is actually the worst spot because there's nothing there. And my wrist back here, the bottom part was fine, but the closer I got to my hand, the more it was starting to hurt because that's where the rest of it was.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. So, Kris?
Yes, dear.
You have a tattoo.
I do have a tattoo.
Where is your tattoo?
It is across the back of my shoulder blades.
It is right across there.
Yes.
And what is it of?
It's kind of a tribal design.
Should I make you lift your shirt and show everyone?
No.
Turn around, show everyone? No?
It's not going to happen.
Show it off. Show it off.
No. It's not
Okay, so it's like a what?
It's like a tribal design that fans out across the top of my shoulder blades and just peeks out up the back of my neck.
When did you get it?
I got it my early 20s, my first trip to California. Before any one of us moved out here, we came out to visit, and I always knew I wanted a tribal design across the back of my shoulder blades, but the time and situation never came out right, and we ended up partying all night at the bars down in Santa Monica, and me and Jamie Garrow ended up back at these strangers' house, and we were playing spades all night. They had a big jar of weed on the table. There was this chick there, and so they're blowing lines of coke all night. We're doing freaking spades, weed all night long. About 5:36 in the morning, everyone's about to stumble out of there, and they're like, "Well, what are you guys gonna do tomorrow?" And Jamie's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna get a tattoo." And the chick's like, "Oh, I do tattoos. I do tattoos at a shop on the boardwalk. You guys should come down and get a tattoo from me. I'll be back there at 10 in the morning." And again, this chick been snorting coke all night long till 10 minutes ago. And she's like, "Yeah, I'll be there to do tattoos for you guys in 3 hours." So we end up going back to the shop. Jamie got a tattoo, a big one on his calf muscle. And as soon as I walked in on the wall, there was designs there and that. And I saw it was the design I had always had in my head. And she ended up doing that design. Took forever because it was from shoulder blade to shoulder blade.
Gotta fill in a lot.
I was still drunk and tipsy from the night before, so they had to keep making me pound 2-liter bottles of Sprite the whole time. So I don't know, there's sugar in it that you had to replace the sugar, but the majority of it was right down the middle of my spinal cord, and freaking the needle on your spinal cord. Oh, that shit hurt so bad because it's super thin and hits the bone over and over again.
Yeah.
No.
So would you ever get a different one? Are you happy with the one you have?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect tattoo. Because,
do you like the place it's at?
Oh, it's absolutely a perfect place.
You never get to see it yourself, though.
And I can completely forget I have it, but I still have it. And it's still
the only time you
sweet.
see it in a mirror when you happen to have that on the other side. You're like, oh yeah, I have this.
I like having the little peak out the back of the neck there, so anybody behind me is like, oh, that guy's not to be messed with. He's got a tattoo peeking out there.
He might be the whitest dude you've ever seen.
And then
popping into shadows, but he's tough.
I'd probably never get another tattoo, but there's the only other one I would get. I've had in mind for a while, and it would be Gratcast films down the side of my forearms, and that would potentially be the only other tattoo I'd get.
Which is good that you didn't do it because it's Gratcast Productions now. So then it would just.
But Gratcast Films will always be my creative brand, all of my creative content. So that one's more authentic to me as opposed to the company that exists to assist creators.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everybody. That is our show. A little bit longer than expected. We went an hour and a half, so thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Emily, for joining us. Glad that you are back. Glad we were able to get you back, and Grid Fam decided to let us happen.
You know what's a shame, Emily?
So next, huh?
Wait, she was going to say something.
I'll go second.
What were you going to say, honey?
Oh, I was just gonna say next Monday, I'll be able to tell you if anything happened this weekend.
Oh.
Yes! That will be very exciting. We want to hear this surprise news. Hopefully it will be a lot of fun, and it will be something you're not quite expecting. You're expecting something, but what it is...
I think something's happening, but I don't know what.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to hearing about that.
And my thing is, unfortunately for you, Emily, you don't get to hear our closing song.
That's right. I think you've heard it quite a few times before. Well, thank you, Emily. Everyone, please follow us on Discord. You can talk to Emily. Then it's right down there. Discord.me/Gratwig. Check it out, everyone. We'll see you next Monday. Thank you. Bye, Emily.